9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is going on, people? What is going on? Welcome back to another Prem Panel Show. What's going on, Carol? How you doing, brother?
Not too bad, not too bad.
So as you can see in the title, guys, we're going to be talking a little Arsenal today. We're going to be talking a little Chelsea today. Then we're going to be getting revved up for the weekend with some predictions for the upcoming fixtures. Unfortunately, the majority of the panel are actually sick. So straight off the bat, we're going to say get well straight away. KG isn't feeling too good. Aaron isn't feeling too good as well. So big up, boys. Hope you get better. And George is traveling as well for the Newcastle game. So he obviously will be out of town as well. So he won't be able to. And Lewis should be joining us a little bit later on, guys. So hold tight. Lewis will be in when we get onto the Chelsea stuff. And Matt is away, obviously, because it's little man's birthday. So we got to drop the beat for little man for his birthday. Big up little man on his birthday. Matt's doing a little, I think he said he had a bouncy castle and that, so he must be running right now. So yeah, big up little man.
I see him. Who is it? Is it Goku he was wearing? Goku stuff he was wearing?
There you go. Yeah, you're starting to get with it, bro.
You know what I know? No, I know, because my jiu-jitsu coach bought one for Stevie. And when he gave it to me, I was like, oh, thanks. And he's like, you don't know who this is, do you? And I was like, no. For that whole session, me and him sparred, and let's just say I tapped out way more than I've ever tapped out.
So you don't know who Goku is?
That's why. But yeah, let's drop the beat for little man and that. Big up to Matt, the family. And big up to little King as well. Let's drop the beat through.
So on that note, are Arsenal back? You see the title. You already know that's going to be a very interesting topic. But we're not going to be over biased about this. We're not going to do the usual, not letting Arsenal have their say. So we have a special guest for you lot. Cal, do you want to bring in the people's person of the day for Arsenal?
You guys are going to love this one. Guna Lee in the building.
Hey, what's going on?
Champ, the people's champ.
What is going on, brother? What is going on? Oh, sorry, my finger slipped. Sorry. No, sorry. My finger. Oh no, shit. Sorry, no, my finger slipped. It's not me. My finger slipped. My finger slipped, bro.
Your finger slipped. I don't know what's going on.
My finger slipped.
Oh yeah, just like those kind of like things went missing for those like false positives and all that. Yeah. We ain't saying too much, man.
What's going on, though, bro? What's going on?
All good, man. All good. Love that. I appreciate it, man.
Come on. It's always love. It's always love, bro. So, as we said to you backstage, I actually think you're going to be pleasantly surprised or shocked. This isn't a grilling session, you know what I mean? We love to run the jokes, but this is real talk. We do the real thing. So we're going to get into this Arsenal topic because obviously we haven't had that much Arsenal representation. Not on purpose, by the way. We do invite Arsenal fans, but they just can't make it, and it's not a deliberate thing. So we do try and get Arsenal representation, though. So now that we actually have you here, bro, so you can, fight your side, let's talk about it. So from my point of view, I believe you are clearly this season, let's not talk about last season, let's not talk about whatever, let's just talk about this season. I think you are clearly the best team of the pack that are behind the top three. I think it's obvious. If everyone is like putting the banter to one side, I think it's obvious. I also believe that you're the favourite for the top four, although I understand the trepidation looking at your fixtures. You get what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I understand the trepidation looking at the fixtures. So before we get into the actual top four run, bro, just run me through the season from Christmas to now? Because let's talk about the beginning, because the beginning of the season was quite bad. Let's talk about Christmas till now. How are you feeling about it, bro?
Do you know what? I would even say probably more so like November till now.
Okay, fair enough.
We've just, I would say really simply, we've had less peaks and troughs, and we've just been more consistent. I know a lot of like sort of the jokes and the banter has been going on, but we just really have beaten the teams that we should have, and we lose against the teams that we really, really should do. I think what's kind of been a bit more important and a bit more paramount since maybe, obviously, January we scored no goals, but and we had more red cards than we actually scored. But I think the issue was, especially against Man City, was that we played extremely well. And I know, not including me, but a lot of Arsenal fans took a lot of pride and that false win from that. But the whole point is that we actually have put up a fight. And I think sort of my overarching point with Arsenal this season has been, yes, we may not even, I mean, I don't want to sort of go too far forward, but I think what's sort of seemed to be that is that a lot of Arsenal fans actually like the team now, which is a lot better than what we have said before. So I know, again, I don't want to go too far forward, but if we do or don't get a top four, it's actually more important for us to actually get to like the team, like the players, and we can fill the stadium and feel good with the team and the manager included.
Yeah, do you know what? On that then, let's quickly talk about that before we go on to the other steps. Because Cal, you can attest straight away. So I'll quickly bring you in before Lee gives his say on this. We adore our team. And we always look at other teams and we always think it must be a bummer to have so many players in the team you don't like. I use Man U as an example. There's so many players in that squad that the fans just don't like. They don't want there. There's all this problem. And it just creates this divide. So as Lee's put, which is actually a very, very good point, all of the players they didn't like, bar maybe Xhaka, who's kind of turned it around to an extent, all of the Bellerins and all of those guys who the fans are like, what's this guy? I don't like this guy. He don't try hard enough. He ain't good enough. Arteta's got rid of all those. So do you think that is the key now to why Arsenal are playing better? Because they have players that the fans like, as well as the fact that they're performing well, whereas maybe Bellerin might have a good game, but the fan base still would like, who wants Bellerin here, man? Bellerin, man, like, get rid of that guy.
It's a tough one. We, even though obviously we're in a position where we love pretty much every player at the club, we've been there, innit? Like, Holson and Jovanovic is like, we've been there. Like
Konchesky and
yeah. All right, let's not swear anymore. We've been there. We've been there. So, but I think I've got to personally look, as much Lee, me and you banter all the time back and forth, whether it be on here or online. But if I'm going to be completely serious now, in the same way a lot of fans wrote off Liverpool for even getting top 4, I wrote off Arsenal for even getting top 6. So I've got to hold my hands up. And obviously the season's not done yet, but I've got to hold my hands up and say, I was wrong. I was wrong about Arsenal. And mostly, I was wrong about Arteta. Arteta, if I'm going to be honest, has shown me way more than I thought he would.
And just to add on to that, Cal, I think that's where a lot of non-Arsenal fans, and even Arsenal fans, they kind of don't want to admit. Sometimes you can be wrong. Sometimes you can see something in someone or in a relationship, at work, whatever, and you just pick up bad vibes, or you don't see something that you like because you're not used to it or accustomed to it. But they can change your mind, and it's okay to do that. It's not unbeknownst to people to have an opinion that can be wrong. And I think that's where a lot of people just need to maybe not so much grow up, but just understand it's football and it changes every day, every minute. Like you saw, I mean, a certain player, he was the biggest thing at Man United as an 18-year-old, and now he's gone in a minute. So like things happen, and I think that's where we need to kind of like, as a football base and football fans, grow up a little bit and say, do you know what? You can be wrong, and it hurts to say it, but it's true.
No, it is, and I'll be the first to hold my hands up and say, you know what? Arteta has changed my mind a bit on him. Like I thought he was just one of those guys. He was a bit of a pretender, but I gotta be honest. Watching how you guys play, there's a clear system in place. Yes, there are a few positions where you could upgrade on, but that's to be expected. You're still in that rebuild stage. Getting rid of Aubameyang, right or wrong, we'll only know in hindsight. Bold move, the boldest move you could have made.
Can I just ask you on that then, both of you actually? If Hendo did allegedly what Aubameyang done and turned up to, let's say not Everton because they're crap. So Man United, sorry Everton fans, but Man United.
You don't have to apologize to them on this channel, bro.
Find them, man.
But if he turned up to Man, you know what? Let's not even say Man United. Let's say Man City in a Champions League quarterfinal or like in the last 16. How would you react to Hendo turning up late in a Lamborghini?
I mean,
that's an important fact as well. I think that's
because it's part of the persona, isn't it, of like being like nonchalant. You know what? I think for a start, I think if you own a Lamborghini, and I'm not telling rich people how to spend their money, but I think if you own a Lamborghini, you should also have a Range Rover or an Audi or something that you drive, because the Lamborghini should be only now and again in it. If you're riding around in a Lamborghini all the time, that's a mad thing. So I just want to put that out there straight away. If Hendo did that, Lee, I'd be very disappointed. I think what's different about the situation is that because Aubameyang is flamboyant and Hendo isn't, that character sounds so out of character to even think he would do that. Do you get what I mean?
Lambo though, but if he was late, let's just stick with.
Bro, even being late, bro, I'll be real. Like I would be shocked if I heard that Henderson was late for anything, bro. Do you know what I mean?
It's an oxymoron, isn't it? It's an oxymoron. You're like,
it actually is. It actually is.
You know, it's like raw. Like I had to read it again.
But when he got rid of Aubameyang, I was thinking, wow, he's really, really trying to show who's got the biggest balls at the club, innit? And the thing is, even though Aubameyang's gone off and done really well at Barcelona, no one can turn around to Arteta and say it was a silly thing to do, because Arsenal have also been doing well since he's left as well, and since he's been out of the team. So it seems as though it's a move that suited everyone. At the time, it was kind of wild because obviously your squad thin and you're maybe an injury away from just being with Nketiah up front, which for me is a madness. And obviously, touch wood, Lacazette don't get injured and you don't have to go in that situation. but it's like, you have to rate the cojones on him for doing that. And look, even the way he sets up the 4-2-3-1, everyone knows I'm a big fan of the 4-2-3-1. But the way you guys transition, pivot, the way you lot transition from defense to attack, that's on the coaching ground, isn't it? That's coaching. That doesn't just happen because you got.
I do think. To your point, I do think. So can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
I do think, going off your point, I do think that two things can be true as well. So it may have not been the right thing to sell him, because I don't necessarily agree with that point, but he may be justified and vindicated in his reason as to why, because we hopefully will get top four, and it will be beautiful to pick Tottenham to it as well. So I do actually think that maybe keeping Aubameyang was a lot better and obviously smarter for Arsenal, but obviously, hopefully, it kind of works out still for Arsenal in the end.
All right, so let's stick on that just quickly, because it's given me an idea why you guys were talking. Is this the part though where the jury is still out on Arteta then? Because as much as we've given him his praise that he has done brilliantly this season, is this still where he's not quite of a level in terms of? I think the issue with Aubameyang is more he couldn't demand the respect from Aubameyang. And this is what happens with inexperienced managers. We've got a player who's been around the block and played for some of the best managers in world football, and he's looking at Arteta and thinking, why the hell am I going to listen to what you're saying? For example, I'm the reason you even have a trophy under your belt. Don't tell me what to do. I already know what I'm doing. So is this more of a, even though it was a good decision from what it looks like, because he looked like he was disturbing it, is this more still what Arteta has to prove? Because while the young players are listening to him because they're young and they're very influential, the older players, say he wanted to go and bring in another player, like a Benzema, for example, say he became available and he was willing to go Arsenal and he comes in, he's going to be another type of player where he's going to look at Arteta and go, bro, you can't tell me nothing, bro. I'm not listening to you. So is that the next step now in Arteta proving he's good? Are there more steps now that need to be taken where he needs to prove he can manage senior players and people who've won things and not just kids who will listen to him?
Is that for me, sir?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, Lee.
Yeah. I think, obviously, I was, again, listening to you or watching your show the other day, you guys were talking, I think you kind of mentioned briefly about the whole Roy Hodgson and working with older players and like community and stuff like that. I think For Arteta, I feel like he's just used to working with younger players, and he finds that it's easier to kind of dictate. I do feel with the Aubameyang thing, it's hard to comment because we don't actually know why he got sold. So for me, I don't want to sit here and say he's this and he's that. And again, I don't know. Again, I'm just very different to everyone else. I don't really like to put down my own, so I don't want to comment too much on that specific situation. But I do feel that Arteta just couldn't manage him, as you said, and he kind of wanted to kind of put his authority down, his balls on the table, really, and say, this is what we're doing, this is the ship that we're on, and it's a tight ship, and if you're not willing to sort of abide by the rules, then yeah, you need to go. What's more interesting is obviously Aubameyang and Lacazette are like brothers, they're so close. And it's funny how Aubameyang seemed to be having all the issues with Lacazette. And there was this thing apparently in Dortmund where he got had some issues before with the, I think it was a president, I'm going to say the president, I'm not too sure, the sporting director, and now he's come to another club. But again, I don't want it to be a bashing of Aubameyang because I don't know what it is. It could be just an ego thing with Arteta. And we've seen the ego with the Klopp thing and like him trying to be this braggadocious person. So I'm not really too sure where he's going with it and what he's trying to achieve. But for me, it's working. So if it's working, it's almost like it's hard because they both seem to be doing quite well in their position. So it's a weird one. It's weird.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, yeah, Aubameyang does have a reputation for being very confrontational.
Again, allegedly.
Yeah, no, yeah, obviously allegedly, but there has been quite a few managers who have claimed that he does get quite confrontational, doesn't like being told what to do, you know what I mean, etc.
And that's in Etienne as well. Again, apparently he had something with the manager who, the manager said it something when he was at his new club and Aubameyang was at Arsenal. So he's had it from St. Etienne, at Borussia Dortmund, and now at Arsenal. So yeah,
there's no smoke without fire, Lee, and it's one of those ones where there's, you know what I mean? I mean, he's probably going to have to curve it now because Xavi ain't going to take no shit at Barcelona, that's for sure. So if he is like that, then he's going to definitely have to like keep that in line, you know, when he's over there.
For you guys, who do you feel you'd feel better working with, older players or younger players?
Do you know what? I think I'd just like a beautiful blend of both if I was a manager. I think I'd want half my squad to be over 30 and half my squad to be under 25. That's how I think I'd want it. Just a perfect blend of experience, youth, mixing it up. I mean, not to blow our horn, but I think that's why Liverpool's blend is so perfect. I think you've got Matip and Van Dijk, who are 30, which is perfect. You've got Henderson, which is 30, Thiago, who's 30. And then you've got the youngers like the Elliots and all of those guys coming through. Then you've got the just getting into that part, like Mane, Salah, who are 29, they're coming into the 30s. Then you've got Trent, you've got Robbo in their mid-20s. I mean, now Robbo's probably coming closer to late 20s now, isn't it? But, you know, I think the blend, I like that. I like a blend, you know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily just want all old players and I don't want all young players. I think you've got to make sure you mesh the two together.
Like when Klopp was there, he had all young players, and didn't he win it back to back with like Goetze and Royce?
Lewandowski, Royce. Yeah, he's a very young team. Yeah.
He did have some experience in there though with like Weidenfeller and a couple of the other guys as well.
But they're like even Arsenal now, we do have a few older players, but the majority of our starting 11 is pretty much 24 and younger, and that's what I think is so special about the team right now. Like we're doing it with predominantly kids. Like if you look at it in terms of footballing them age anyway.
Just looking at this. So how old's Ramsdale? Ramsdale's what, about 23, 24?
23.
Tomiyasu. How old's Tomiyasu?
23. He's just turned 23, I think he was, yeah.
Gabriel around 23, 24, right?
24 and what's his name? Ben White's 23.
Then Tierney must be about 25, right?
No, he's 23 as well. 23, 24.
Tierney's only 23.
Yeah.
Then Partey must be about 26, 27. 28. Xhaka's over 30. I know that.
He's 29, 30, I think. I think he's 29.
Then you've got Odegaard, who's only like 21, 22.
23. He's the oldest out of that like unique crop. And
he's been around for ages, so he seems
16 years old. Yeah.
Then you've got Saka, who's what, 20?
He's 19, 20. Yeah, 19, I think he is.
Then Martinelli's what, 21?
No, he's 19, 20 as well.
Yeah, no, Martinelli's 18, isn't he?
No, I think he's 19. I think he's 19.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to rate it. You have to rate it. Like
Emil Smith-Rowe is 19, 20, isn't it?
ESR as well, 20 years old. Yeah.
Have to rate it.
With the number 10 as well.
Okay, so that leads perfectly segueing into the section and of talking about what's currently going on in terms of getting this top four then, because that's perfect. So if we're going to look at the situation now where you do have a lot of young players, is this the part where the future looks bright, but what about being in a situation none of them have been in before, including the manager? So this is pressure cooker, a real achievement type of situation in a marathon, not a couple of cup games where you can just have the one-off performances. Like, this is a marathon now. This is 10 games for Arsenal till the end of the season, which is a lot of football when it's every game is a pressure. Every game is a final. Every single game now is grinding. Is this where having a young squad could affect you, bro? Like, did you feel like this is quite possibly where Conte having experience, Ralph Rangnick having experience, players in either squad being older, having experience, could possibly be your Achilles heel?
I think it can, but we've been winning games. We beat Wolves with 10 men away. We beat Wolves at home. And again, that whole experience, Arsenal haven't really had situations where they've needed to come back from wins and continue. I don't know if you watched the game, but we battered Wolves at home. The first 20 minutes were a bit shaky, which is understandable. And even, again, you know, I watch your show religiously. You guys have been suffering with that for the last month, I would say. The first 20 minutes quite poor. Arsenal have been quite poor in the first 20 minutes. And then people will brandish it that we played rubbish. We battered Wolves. Like, we actually murdered them. We played relatively okay against you without actually having chances. We've been playing well. I'm under the pressure. I feel like we've been doing it. We've been beating the teams that we should, and we've been beating them convincingly. And I feel like the only difference is, as you said, the last 10 games, and I think it's more now. It's a cup final, but we've been doing it. And I feel like the other teams that we're going to play, apart from Chelsea, they're all rubbish. Man United are absolutely...
Well, Cal, in the background, could you just quickly get me Arsenal's fixtures, please, bro, so we can just finish up on the actual fixtures themselves? Because, you make some good points there, Lee, that you have actually been quite convincing in your games. Like, to be honest, I don't normally put Arsenal in my accumulator because you don't quite know. But you lot have been kind of doing me all right recently. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I haven't been that annoyed with you lot because you actually keep winning games to help me win my money. Do you know what I mean? So I've been paying attention.
I feel for us, I feel like it's the pressure. I think the more of the pressure will come from like the Monday night game. So we were playing after everyone else. So even if one of the teams do have a little bit of a stick up, the pressure is still on us to win because we can't afford to drop points no matter what. So like every single game we have to win. Like I could pretty much just say to you, I don't even care if Chelsea away. We're going to win because we have to. Like we physically have to win every game.
Yeah. So here's your fixtures quickly. So obviously Crystal Palace away, as Man City showed, is a very tricky game. It's a very tricky game, and it's emotional for you guys.
Like they're safe. Last 10 games or 9 games for them. Like they've got the FA Cups. Like so, there's like obviously loads of like different compartments that we can go into. But I would say Crystal Palace. They've got Zaha out. I don't know if he's coming back.
Yeah, he will be out. Yeah, he's got a hamstring injury. Yeah.
Another important Mitchell, is he out or something like that? So they've got a few players that may be out. I mean, that may help us as well. So you're right. Like even the Man City game, you guys were streaming at the time, but I was watching in the background, and they absolutely pummeled them without scoring.
Yeah.
So like even that, I know it's a moral draw, but at the point, like we're playing good, and hopefully we can obviously take one of those. We just need one chance, hopefully, because we don't concede many goals. If you look at our record, we don't actually concede. So it could be just like a 1-0, and we'll be good with that. Apart from the game, which was just like manic. We've been beating teams like convincingly, like 1-0, 2-1. Like so, for me, I feel like just looking at those, is it 4 games? I should have put my glasses. But the Chelsea game is a hard game, but
and that's your game in hand, isn't it? The Chelsea game. That's the game in hand.
Southampton away. So it's cut you. Southampton away. I don't think that's a given either.
Do you know what though? But we always beat Southampton away. I know we lost against them last season in the FA Cup, but we always beat them like more time than not. And I feel like with Southampton, they are a difficult team, but like we have to win. And we said this against Wolves. We've said like we've been saying this. We said this against Burnley away near the beginning of the season. Like we've been saying this and we've been picking up points. And that Odegaard's playing like out of his absolute mind. Lacazette's doing a job. We score so many goals from corners. We haven't conceded a goal from corner for 100 and something games, like 120 games from a set piece. We literally do not concede from set pieces.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Take my advice from what Matt does or not. Don't piss in the wind, bro. Don't piss in the wind, bro. I literally heard a commentator say in the Man U Tottenham game, Man U haven't scored a goal from a set piece all season. Literally, what happens? Whips it in. Cristiano Ronaldo gets on the end of it, bang, scores the winning goal.
This is what happens when your team gives you that feel-good factor. Like it just feels like you can go into it with a little bit more vim and a little bit more confidence. Like you don't have to shout from the rooftops, but I do feel that those games there, like against Arsenal, against Man United, sorry, I feel like we should be beating them like 3-0. That is how I feel now. Because
okay. I think Southampton are getting tired now, Karen. I think that what might be to Arsenal's advantage. They're looking exhausted now after a long season. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like right now, Arsenal can't even. I don't want to hear no excuses about Arsenal midweek games because we've had the whole season off. So you're telling me we have 10 games. It literally doesn't matter if we're playing 3 games in a week because the idea of us going into the Champions League is what we want to do. And if that's the case, there are no excuses. Otherwise, just pack your bags and go on holiday now. Go to Dubai, go to Marbella or Ben White, you just dead pattern and do what you need to do in it because we ain't got time to waste. Like this is what we want to do. This is what we've been doing for the last, I would say, 20 years. But 20 years, obviously not including the last 5. Like this is what we've been doing. So like we haven't got any excuses. Like we have to beat Newcastle. We have to beat Everton. I don't even include in their rubbish. We have to.
You'll beat Everton. West Ham away is a tricky game for you boys. London derby.
They've got Europa League, and they may be.
I forgot about that.
They go through against Lyon, which Lyon are 10th right now. We may actually have face a weakened team. I saw recently this red zone about what's the striker's name? The Jamaican guy. Why did it come up my head?
Mick Antonio.
Oh, Antonio.
So he may not play like Declan Rice. It's all swings and roundabouts. We don't actually know, right? But for me, I feel, and I watched one midweek game from the West Ham against Tottenham. They absolutely got murdered. So like for me, I'm looking at every single game. Not saying we're going to win. But I feel like we should be going with an idea of getting points in every game. I feel like that's close to me.
Yeah, I agree. So before I ask the question about will or won't Arsenal actually get top 4, if you do get top 4, just to finish up, because you're way ahead of schedule, could it bite Arsenal in the arse, so to speak? Because Champions League is no joke. So if you're ahead of the schedule, are you almost going to go into the Champions League unprepared? Which it could actually be more detrimental than anything because you don't want the confidence taking a battering, playing teams, you know what I mean, and getting worked and getting knocked out. But do you think Champions League is a bit of a worry with you being ahead of schedule?
I wouldn't say a worry. I feel like these young players, they want to play every game. They want to play in the big tournaments and all the big competitions. And for Arsenal, the position that we're in is we can only go up from here. Like I don't feel like we can go down because the teams below us aren't good. Like minus West Ham and maybe possibly Wolves. I don't see Man United doing anything for the next 3 years. Tottenham, yes, they have 2 good players up front, but their team is crap. And we don't know about Conte yet. So that's another thing that could be out of the way. So we don't know what's going on with Chelsea as well. So for us, I feel like we just need a striker. We're doing this without a striker, by the way. We're literally beating all these teams without a striker, and we're hopefully going to get 2. So in theory, once we get top 4, if we get top 4, I should say, then the onus goes onto the board. So that's another issue that we need to think about. So it's not necessarily like the manager and the team can only do so much, but it would be stupid to get into top 4 and not buy anybody because then what's the point? Like we're just like getting these positions for no reason. So I feel like we will kind of spend the money needed to kind of get into the position where we can again lose 10-2 to Bayern Munich.
I mean, I don't know, but the track record of your owners is The chat.
Listen, man. You know what, bro? I'm telling you, bro. I swear, you got Bayern Munich in the next round because I know you're going to beat Benfica. Please. I'm going to learn. Listen, I did German GCSE and I'm going to bring out every German word I know. Please, Bayern Munich. Oh my God, please.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you got your fellow Arsenal man in the chat as well, bro.
Alex, my guy, come on.
But the reason I'm asking that question is because sometimes it can be detrimental to the situation. Like, I mean, not to do an analogy, but say you was in a karate club and you'd only been there a year, so you weren't that great, but you were okay. And then the main guy fell out, and they were like, "Can you represent the dojo? Like, he's got an injury." You might be like, "Oh, brilliant, I get to go." But like, if you get your ass whipped, it might discourage you. Do you get what I mean? So like, it's great to be on that stage, but it could also be bad for the. Do you get what I mean? So like, I'm just saying, like, is it bad to be ahead of schedule?
We finish 4th. Who did you buy the next season? I know because your last game was Middlesbrough, and we needed you to lose so we can get in.
Yeah, so that was 16-17.
That was Salah, isn't it?
So that summer, yeah, we bought Salah, Ox.
Because you had Ronaldo in it. I remember he scored.
Yeah. We had that. Yeah. Mane and Ronaldo was the season before that, and in that season. Sorry?
You had Firmino?
Yeah.
Yeah, Firmino was already there before everybody, yeah.
I'm trying to remember we bought. Hold on.
It would have been. It would have. I know we bought Mo. Yeah, Karius. Yeah, it was Karius.
No, we had Karius already.
Did we already have him? Yeah?
Yes, we did. We got Karius at the beginning of the 16-17 season.
So would Karius have been Klopp's first full season signing then, innit?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
it was Arsenal. Solanke's another one. Big up to Abdus. Solanke.
Oh, yeah. Solanke, yeah.
And Ox. VVD in January.
No, we started. We had that season, and then because we played you.
Yeah, but remember, Ox came straight after we played you. Do you remember? We literally played you. Then 2 days later, Ox came. Do you remember? Yeah.
Because we played you before the window ended in the summer.
Robbo.
How can we forget Robbo? Flipping no.
5 mil,
yeah.
Right?
8 mil, yeah. Absolute steal, boy.
But I feel like for Arsenal, we just need, but we need 2 strikers. We need to hopefully replace Xhaka and then just build the squad. Our first 11 is competent, minus Oxford. Our first 10 is competent enough to do well in the group stages. So if that's what you're asking, because I don't see Arsenal getting past maybe the quarters. I don't think that's a real expectation for the getting back in. I don't really feel that that's what Arsenal should be sort of doing. Like as Alex said, getting in there, understanding that Wednesday or Tuesday, Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is, and building your reputation. Because let's be honest, in the last 5, 6, maybe even 8 years, Arsenal's reputation in Europe has been absolutely tattered. So that's what I feel like we need to sort of back up. And there's no shame going out in the quarterfinals because we've not been in it for this is what we do is 6 years. So it's a long time. So I feel like just getting those strikers, because I said it's really important to understand that we're doing all of this with Lacazette. Like that's what we're doing. We're doing.
He is a £50 million striker. I've let you say you don't have a striker for about 20 minutes, Lee. He's a £50 million forward, bro. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah,
bro.
But that's like me saying about Firmino. He's a £30 million striker when you bought him, no? And now look at him.
But he wasn't a striker though. He was a number 10 when we bought him, bro, isn't it? Where you actually bought Lacazette as a prolific French league goal scorer, bro.
You're doing exactly what Man United fans do. You're talking about like Ronaldo and you're comparing to the name from what he does now. Like he's not the same player. So you're saying that Ronaldo is this big player, but he's not because he's not.
Yeah, but Lacazette's only 30 though, bro. It's not like he's not really over the hill, is he? Like,
sorry, just to cut you, Lee. Sorry, just to cut you on Lacazette. And again, I'm not even trying to dump here. Will he go down as a bit of a flop as an Arsenal signing? Because he was bought as a striker.
Yeah,
and you're seen as a prolific striker. And
my thing is, he right now he's doing what he's asked to do, which is that sort of a Firmino role for our team. He's part of that leadership group, and he's doing that link number 10 and hopefully getting. So his role actually really isn't to score goals; it's just sort of create and make the space for everybody else. But my issue with Lacazette is, and you're right, like going back to what you were saying, he had I think 2 decent seasons. One season where he was outstanding when he had hair, I think that's probably part of the reason. But I feel for him, he really has just like not lived up to, as you said, sort of that sort of that name, that reputation in Europe from when he was at Lyon, when he was banging in goals week in and week out. Genuinely, a lot of Arsenal fans thought he wasn't ever going to replicate, but he was going to be somewhere similar to that Benzema kind of player. For us, I mean, but
I rated him before you bought him.
Yeah,
I'm not going to front. If Liverpool had bought Lacazette, I would have been completely okay with it.
Wanted him.
For me, it's a thing that I don't For me, I feel like genuinely that Lacazette's not a bum. He's not a busted. And you're right, he's only 30, but he's just gone over the hill, and we just need to upgrade. It's just, it happens. You will talk about Ox, you talk about Naby, and he's only 26. Like, we talk about these players because if they're not doing the job that they need to do, then like you're going to be held to that account, that standard. And again, same thing like with Man United and Liverpool. We have a rich heritage of having good strikers or great strikers, and if you don't live up to the king himself, or even near that, even to Van Persie, even to like Eduardo,
right? Anelka,
right? Like, I didn't even want to touch them man there. I didn't want to, but I'm talking about like
you've at least got to be an Alan Smith. Do you know what I mean? Like,
listen, he isn't even an Alan Smith.
No, Alan Smith was a great striker. Yeah.
Striker. Like Rocky Rollcastle,
like big up Rocky.
Yeah, I don't want to. Today, I think it was yesterday was his 21-year sort of anniversary of his passing. So, God rest his soul. But yeah, for me, I just really kind of find it important to say that he's not a bust. I don't want to sort of be like cussing out my players, but I'm just trying to be as honest as possible because at the end,
that's fair.
I want the best for Arsenal, and everyone other than you guys want the best for Arsenal. So it's
no, that's fair. We'll just hit up some of these super chats before I get you lot's conclusion on the Arsenal situation.
Sorry, can I ask one question? To Lee.
Yeah, go on.
If you guys don't get top 4, do you worry that your Martinellis, your Sakas?
Oh, hold that then. Hold that. We'll get to that. Hold that.
I'll read the super chats. I'll read the super. Kadir says, "Don't worry, Cow Drift. I'm here on the panel." Lord Walk says Arsenal has better success with kits than play on the pitch.
Here comes the shade.
The water coast started even talking about that.
I'm not even gonna lie, you lot are doing up like Paris Fashion Week and that a lot. It's mad.
Listen, I'm gonna show you the new. Have you seen the new kits we're getting next season?
No.
Oh,
well, but don't be like blinded by the light, bro. This is what they're doing, bro.
You know what? Shout out to my girl. I think she's watching it. She knows what she's getting me for early Valentine's Day present. You know that, babe. Come on,
Ali, am I right in believing that you lot have actually got Stella McCartney designing your kit?
Oh, do you know what? I don't think that's true. I don't know, but that could be true. I don't know.
Because I'm sure Stella McCartney works with Adidas anyway.
Yeah, she does. You know what?
I'm not even gonna. That's gangster. Still, I mean, don't be blinded by the lights. But Stella McCartney designing kits, that's some gangster shit. I can't even lie. But you know.
I know, but they got the Jordan brand, didn't it?
No, that's Nike, isn't it? Nike's the one that's got that.
Yeah, PSG, they got the Jordan.
Oh yeah, no, but I don't think Jordan is as good as Stella McCartney. If you're talking about going to that Paris Fashion Weekend stuff, do you know what I mean? Like she's like an elite designer. That's some real shit, bruv. But you know what I mean. So, Cal, now. You was asking the question about people leaving because there's a certain man who was auditioning for Klopp as well. So go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna be real with you, Lee. I'm just gonna say it straight, innit? I want Saka at Liverpool, bro.
I want Martinelli.
Why are you gonna make me do this?
Lee, there's no point me lying to you. We've known each other long enough now. There's no point me lying to you, bro. I want Saka, bro. I want him at the club.
But why? You got Mo. You got King Mo, no?
Yeah, but I want some competition for Mo. And again, Lee, I love you, bro, but I want to see Arsenal fans in the mud. Because you see, if we get Saka, we're ripping the DNA out of your club, bro. We're doing that. And I want Klopp hugging him, bro, at the Emirates after he scored a brace.
Or Southampton or something. Like, what is this?
Nah, bro. I want Saka at Liverpool, bro.
I've made no secret. I want Martinelli. Like, I think the kid's a baller. So
I'd only want Martinelli. I'd only want Martinelli if we had to sell Mane. Right now, I'm happy with the left-hand side.
No, because I think Martinelli can be transitioned into a great forward player. I think he's learning his trade on the wing, bro. I think by the time he's at 22, he can play down the middle, bro. 100%.
I'll be honest. Martinelli on the wing is fire.
I'm telling you.
So he do it on reaching, bro. Learn his trade on the wing and then go up front, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. In a couple years, Martinelli will be a lethal striker, best believe.
Yeah.
So you reckon that's the next position then, Lee, for Martinelli?
Look, Liverpool. Hey, stop that, man.
No. Get them forward.
No. Man. Nah, man, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, I tell you, quickly give it a little kiss, you know, like, no, don't do that to me, boys.
No. Martinelli's a bad player, though, man. Martinelli's Saka.
No, he is. He's cold. He's cold.
They're proper ballers, man. And for me, I feel like, if we don't win anything or seem to be progressing, I don't feel like right now, because like for those players, if they go to a bigger club, what the hell did I just say?
No, that's all right. Go with the flow, bro. You're just speaking,
brother. Speak your truth.
You're just speaking your truth, bro. You're speaking your truth. Go on, do your thing, bro.
Ain't nobody gonna stop you, bro. You say it off your chest.
Pretend nobody can hear you, bro. It's confessions.
If he goes to a different club.
What are you saying? You're missing Liverpool now, yeah? You're saying the X might not be doing it like you thought now. The food don't taste the same no more. Is that
Liverpool
what you're saying?
Hype FC, man. No, if he goes to a club challenging, I'll say that. I'll keep it real. If he goes to a club challenging right now, he's not going to play as much. So it's pointless for him going anyway. Like he should.
Sorry to cut you. I disagree. I think he goes to Chelsea tomorrow. He starts for Chelsea.
Yeah, I meant like a title challenging team. Chelsea ain't title. They're not title challengers for me. They're not.
I'll be honest. He could start for City.
I was just going to say, let's just pull this back for a second. Martinelli could play up front for City, Lee.
I'm talking about Saka right now as well.
Martinelli. No, Mahrez is cold, bro. He's not getting in over Mahrez.
No, he's cold, but if Saka gets on a run, Saka could get in the team, go on a run, and Mahrez is sitting on the bench.
Yeah, I mean,
I was in the gym talking to my boys, and they were like, Saka would start for Man City, but I don't agree with that at all.
Not currently. I don't agree with that currently. Mahrez is a baller. I don't agree with that currently. But you never know in the future. I think Martinelli goes City and starts right now, though. I got to be real. I think he could get in the team now.
What would be the point? Just sit warm in the bench. What would be the point?
I think he could play up front for Man City, bro. I think Pep would allow him the time to learn on the job. You see, like at Arsenal, where you can't go up front because you lot just need goals. In the way that Man City play, where everybody else chips in with the goals, I think he could learn the trade up front while everyone else chips in, and it wouldn't be a problem. Like I think he could play up front for City personally. But Jesus don't even play as it is, bro. So
what's going on with Jesus?
And they do that. You know what? As well with Man City, they want to do the gunman with Haaland, or they do that false number 9 thing. So I don't really know what would be the need for Martinelli to go there.
I'm hoping.
Unless you want to be spiteful and do a Newcastle thing and just take your best player and then leave him on the bench.
Yeah.
I'm really praying to God Man City don't get Haaland, you know. That one's going to really sting still.
But you better get ready for that, bro, because
that one there is going to hurt, bro.
It's coming.
It's going to hurt.
So you know what? I'm not believing that Haaland hype, you know. Honestly, I'm not believing that Haaland hype, man. I don't.
I'll be honest, bro. If he isolates Ben White next season, you're going to believe that.
No, man. Look, again, see what I'm saying? Like, Ben White ain't dead, man. He's not dead.
No, he's not.
He's not dead.
But again, Arcs Drift. Who did I want us to sign last summer, Drift? Not as a starter.
Yeah.
Ben White. I said he comes right back.
He wanted Ben White. He wanted Ben White to come in and be our fourth choice.
Haaland's hype, man. I'm not on this Haaland hype, man. I'm not. I'm on Mbappe. I'm on that hype for real. I'm on that Haaland. I'm on that Mbappe hype for real. The Haaland thing, man, for me. But anyway,
Lee, you're about to start a whole nother topic, so let's reel it back.
I won't.
So before we move on to the Chelsea stuff, boys, just quickly, I'm going to go around. I'll start. Yes, is the answer to the question I haven't asked yet for me. Will Arsenal get top 4, Cal?
Yes.
Lee, will Arsenal get top 4?
Nah.
You're playing it safe.
Yeah. You're right. You're ramping. You're ramping.
And I'll tell you the reason why. I genuinely feel like Spurs will get it, you know. I do.
Are you being genuine right now?
Hand on my heart, I swear to God, I believe Spurs will get it. I swear. I've seen their fixture list, and I feel even though they're crap, they've only got you to play. That's a difficult game. They've got so many easy games.
They do have a lot of easy games.
A lot of them at home, and I feel like for us, even one slip up, because we're so young, even as good as we're playing and as well, like as our mentality's changed, that one slip up right now is just, it's going to be catastrophic for the team. And I feel that's where we're going to, and I feel like they're going to beat us at their ground because of that reason.
Fair enough. So obviously we'll revisit this as the time goes on. Do you know what I mean? We'll pull you in maybe in about 5 weeks' time. We'll see how things have changed.
Man. Arsenal ain't bottling nothing. We're just not going to get there. Like, we're like, I don't want to see no baby bottles either. Like,
so before we move on to the Chelsea
it's different when you see it on this side of the table, isn't it?
Man. This learning done acting like a victim, no belief. You know what's going on here, bro? Bro, we wrote that comment, bro. What's wrong?
That was
let's take the heat off and hit off some of these supers.
So one more super chat from Matt's hairline. I apologize for bum fluff. It's more like armpit hair. You know what, Matt's hairline, yeah? Oh. Cool. I'm gonna let you have it still. As I said,
I'm not gonna lie, that's
no
peak,
shame in my stuff, yeah. I'm already speaking to people and trying to pattern this beard stuff. If I get a full beard, everyone in the chat's done. He's coming.
We don't have a plant made.
I've done everything, Lee. I don't think people rate me. Well, the only thing I've got left to do is bang Juju or something, bro. I've done everything, Lee, bro. I've got 1 or 2 options left, bro. That's it. But I'm just letting people know if this beard comes through, it's problems for everyone.
I hear you. So let's move on now to take the heat off Leah. Let's talk about Chelsea now, boys. Let's talk about Chelsea now. Unfortunately, it looks like Lewis hasn't been able to make it. He was rushing to get home, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it. So we can still talk about it. It's still interesting. Now, I want to bring this up, guys, and as I'm reading through this is the Ricketts family who are one of the people who Chelsea are going to be protesting this weekend. Now, at the moment, nobody knows exactly who's going to take over, but apparently these guys have a little bit of an in. And there's a possibility that they could be given the job, the club, because, you know, it's kind of how it's looking. So we have completely no idea if it's a fact yet, but it could be. And I think it's the Cubs that they own, the baseball team, the Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. In America, the baseball team. So yeah. They already are. They're involved in the sports situation like Fenway Group are with us, for example, where, you know, they're looking to expand their situation. But this is what everybody seems to have a problem with, guys, with regards to issues about this club. So one thing here.
Hold on. Nah.
No, so let's go through these one by one. Yeah, Chicago Cubs. Yeah, that's the one. So one of the things that one of the Ricketts one of the Ricketts family members has been said to have said is the problem I have with you people when he was addressing the black community back in 2020.
Okay.
Another thing that was mentioned in leaked emails is that he claimed that Muslims were the enemy. Okay, I'm not even going to continue to read that because it's disgusting. But you can read it for yourselves, pretty much, yeah. Hold on a minute. Hold on. We may have a late entry. Let me just reply to this. Okay, we may have a late entry. Guest incoming. Number 3. Todd Ricketts referred to the C-19 as the Kung flu. Disgusting behavior. Absolutely. In fact, I shouldn't even have read that out. That made me feel sick even reading that out. Pete Ricketts, are you noticing, guys? This is different family members as well. This isn't even the same person, you know. This is different family members, right? And Pete does not agree with same-sex marriages. And obviously, it even says here his sister is gay, but he does not agree with his own sister on her choice of her own sexuality. Now, they do not seem like nice people in the slightest. So I fully
really nice drift. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying. You know, man. You come on, man. We gotta keep it diplomatic. You know how it goes. Like they do not sound like nice people in the slightest.
Well, drift. Sorry to cut you, bro. If I did see one of these people, bro, like this would probably be what I'd say.
Go suck your mother. Me ready for 1 hour no ramp with me and see me now flush on the face, pussy. Big go suck your mama.
Nah, bro, it's real, bro. It is real. So based on that, you can kind of see where the Chelsea fans are coming from, where they're going to start, a protest. And I think it was 100 and something thousand. All the information is going out of my head from all the stuff we talked about. But there was enough people in the petition they put up for it to be okay for them to do this protest or whatnot. So they do not want these people in charge. Now, is this just a perfect example of really needing to have proper owners? Now, I'm not saying every owner is going to be great, and I don't know what Lee's opinion is on this, but we went through it the other day, and I was saying to Cal that I do believe to become a billionaire, there's something unethical you've done somewhere along the line. That's long, stupid money. You've had to do something along the way. Even if it's paying minimum wage for a job you should be paying twice the wage for. There's something unethical you've done along the way for you to accumulate that level of wealth. But I'm not going to say you're a horrible person or you've done terrible things. But these people seem like they're not nice people. So what I will start with, first of all, actually, let me bring in a guest before I do this.
I'm not going to read this out. I don't think we should.
What's going on, Rams, bro? What's going on?
All good, bro. All good, man. What you say, gonna leave, man? What you say?
Don't forget that name again. Don't forget that name,
bro. For what I've heard, you're an op, man. You're an actual op. Man came into our club, infiltrated the place, then left with them grenades and just walking in the background with them explosions.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I told every man this, bro. I'm that brother that you see climbing out the 6 feet window when I'm trying to creep around with the girls and get me. I see my charges hard down my leg. I'm joking.
Yeah, no, I'm sure she does. But we'll give you a chance to get back into the afterwards. But let's talk about this Chelsea situation. Now, you made a good point there, Cal. And I don't want to put all Chelsea fans and mar them with the same brush. I don't want to. We've got a Chelsea fan on our panel who's an exemplary human being. All Chelsea fans are not. All Chelsea fans are not this. But what I do want to say, though, is there is a core part of the fan base who is unquestionably like this because we've got too much evidence to prove otherwise. And I think even the Lewises and the Matisses actually don't like the way these people are themselves. They're not going to defend these people themselves. Now, I didn't hear this smoke for John Terry. I didn't hear this smoke when those Chelsea fans did what they did to the black guy in the Euro tunnel. I didn't hear this smoke when they were wrecking there was a foreign country where there was a Champions League game and they were being racist to the Chinese guy. Like, I don't want to, again, tar everybody with a brush, but I just want to say, as a whole though, is it a little bit pot calling the kettle black in the scenario to see that and be angry about that? But there's so many examples where there was just nothing said about situations that were of this exact same scenario. I mean, Cal? Who is Cal? I'll let you start with this one. What are you saying, bro?
You know my thoughts on it, bro. Like I didn't even know this stuff about the Ricketts family. As far as I'm concerned, they can collectively go and do one, innit? Like, they're the sort of people, and again, this is probably the most disrespectful thing I'll say on it, but they're the sort of people you spit in their faces because they are so far gone with their ignorance and their views that there's no point even talking to these people. And I'm not going to waste the skin on my knuckles on them either. So for people like you, spit in their faces because they're the lowest of the low. Like you are speaking about black people that way, you're speaking about Muslims that way, you're speaking about people from the LGBTQ community that way. Like you are the bottom of the barrel dirt in it. But then, as we've seen numerous Chelsea fans. And again, I don't want to couple all Chelsea fans together because that's wrong, because we know fans of Chelsea who are fantastic people. But we've seen so much evidence of them doing so much nonsense. You're like,
I forgot even singing Abramovich's name during the thingy the other day. Even
I know it sounds bad to say. It sounds bad to say, but these owners almost fit the club. Like, it kind of fit. It's bad to say, but they almost feel like it's right for them to be the owner of that club because they have had so much negative press and ideas of what their ideologies of how they move and how they operate and who they kind of bring into their club. And you're forgetting a lot of, like, when they go to Paris and when they go to other countries, they smash up bars. Like, it's just part of the nature of that club. So it wouldn't surprise me that they've been nominated as, I think that's the reason why there's a protest, because they've been shortlisted as, and I think they're a front runner to take over the club.
Yeah, they're looking like so.
It really wouldn't surprise me. And you know what will happen. They will start to put like people of color on the board, females on the board, start to do these like gay pride and all these things and pretend like they're part of it. But it's just for show, isn't it? Like that is Chelsea, and that is why, for me, I mean, besides the football thing, I cannot stand Chelsea Football Club at all. I hate them football rivalry-wise, and I hate them as a club. Everything to do with them. And poor N'Golo Kante.
And you know what's mad, yeah? Mark, even though I'm still gunning for you, brother, don't worry, I'm still on you. If you don't win that fantasy league, bro, I'm on you, bro. But obviously, you know it's all love. And Mark, this is actually going to be my next question. So I'll put this one to you, Ram, to just slightly come at it from a different angle. Because this is what I was slightly feeling. And again, it's not me trying to tar all the fans. I'm just talking about the ones that we're talking about in this scenario. Is the protest more about them feeling aggrieved that these guys are going to come in and be even probably worse than FSG, because they're not going to come in and do the sugar daddy thing, and these lot have been used to it? And we all know, if you're used to a luxury lifestyle, this is the reason why the courts sit down and hand out bare alimony payments, because it's like, apparently the lifestyle that I've been used to, I can't come away from now. So Chelsea as a whole have been used to 20 years of just, you can have whatever you like, you know what I'm saying? And now they may have to just come on that raw. I've got to think about whether I want Burger King or whether I want the trainers. Like, is it food or is it the gift? Like, what is it kind of thing? So, Ram, do you feel that the protest is less about the ethical, moral side of things and just more about the fact that these guys ain't going to spend no peace? How are you feeling about it?
My question to this, right? When they were talking about Saudi owners, where was the same energy? Where was the same energy for the Saudi owners who's done their bad things? Like, I'll give you an analogy. I'll stick on the food joint kind of thing. They're eating at carriages, and when they heard about the Saudi owners, they thought they're going to eat at the Savoy. But now when they're hearing the likes of Bowley and obviously the Ricketts family, they're like, oh, we have to go and eat Mackey's now. You know what I mean? So it's like, the optimist in me is like saying, there's a large group of Chelsea fans that are like, we want to get these guys, we don't want these guys in here because of their history and what they stand for politically and socially. But then you have to say, there are a couple of people within the fan base that will jump on it because they want to seem politically good. They want to seem like they're good people, when in fact just there just to enjoy the ride, you know what I mean? Join the train, like become sheep, become part of the group, the larger sphere of Chelsea fans, and it's bad, man. It's really, really bad. And just on the John Terry thing, I remember I think a year ago, Monster was having big up Monster. He was having an argument with a couple of Chelsea fans about John Terry, because I think he said, I think John Terry's a better centre back, but as a man, I despise him as a man.
Big up Monster. He's always had that energy.
And he's like,
can I just ask you a question about what you just said?
Yeah, go on.
Do you think that there wasn't as much said about the Saudis because it wasn't maybe as known? Like they had a lot of their dirt hidden, whereas these guys, it's sort of like obviously, I think the second one said it's sort of been released or like
no, but
something
the thing
come
is,
out like it.
I definitely think that's a fair point.
I didn't know a lot about the side. If I'm genuinely on my maybe because I'm ignorant, maybe because it's just maybe not as close to me or whatever. I genuinely didn't know as much about the Saudis, whereas with this Ricketts family, it seems to be all of their laundry is literally out. And we hear a lot about the whole Saudis with this whole situation with it, maybe beheading people or something along those lines. But again, it seems to be like just a bit of hearsay. There's nothing almost like concrete or there. So for me,
that's what I was going to say, Lee. That's what I was going to say. Like I think it's very easy for people to go with the hearsay. Sorry,
I'm not saying I don't know. Yes, so don't come at me. I'm only asking the question.
I think it's very fair because I've actually spoken to people who are from that side of the world, and I trust their judgment. And a lot of them say that there's a lot of propaganda that goes on as well, and you can't just always believe everything that you're hearing with regards to how bad the Saudi situation is. So I agree. While it's always alleged and hearsay and all that kind of stuff, it's very hard to make a decision on things and pass judgment, and it's unfair. I'll be honest, it is unfair. Whereas you look at this Ricketts family, this is real. There's no hiding this. This is actual factual stuff. There's no moving away from this. And do you think their real fear isn't even who's going to own the club in that respect, to who it is? Cal, I come to you. Is it just they realise the ride is over and now they've just got to join the part of the world where you can't buy a £70 million goalkeeper, and if he's not good, you just go buy another one?
Maybe it's part of that, but at the same time, I also think it's just they don't know what's coming next. For the first time in 20 odd years, they don't know what's coming next. And I think it's that uncertainty that's really messing with them right now. As a rival fan, I'm all for it. I said this, like, I know you have a different view to me on Drift and like you want the league to be competitive. I do as well. But if I see Chelsea get liquidated, bro, I'm not good with it. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm really good with it. I'll celebrate it, bro. Like, I will celebrate it. But I reckon Chelsea will be okay. They're not gonna have a Roman Abramovich again. Like that's not gonna happen because Abramovich is kind of a once in a lifetime type of owner from a football standpoint. The problem is, are they going to be able to deal with owners like an FSG who are there predominantly to make sure the business is good first? I don't know. I doubt that. I don't think they're going to do very well with it. Plus, their recruitment ain't been great. And as you said, they've been able to write off flops at high value prices. That's going to stop now. Recruitment's got to be on point with the models that we work with. It's not a coincidence that we spend a long time to find the right person to come in because it has to work. We couldn't have, you think Diaz could come in and flop and then we're getting more money in the summer to replace Diaz? Never. Never. They remember Lukaku was brought in to write off the flop of Werner in the space of 1 year. And now they're still talking about bringing in someone to replace Lukaku. Or
there's talk Chelsea. Anyway. There's talk before the whole Abramovich situation. They were actually going to get involved in the Haaland stuff. So
exactly. I don't think they're going to get Haaland either way. I think every Chelsea fan was like, because it's Roman Abramovich and he loves football, they would be like, he's going to splash money. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Now, Callum, there is no room for error. They cannot make a single mistake. If they make a single mistake, it will take 3 years for it to be reciprocated. Just like us, when we made a mistake, we thought we made a mistake with Naby. And remember 2018-19, because he got injured so many times, we were just lucky that Hender was there just to pick up the pieces near the end of the season. And for Chelsea, the amount of mistakes they've made, like you can say, they've swapped managers again and again. They can't swap any managers. They cannot.
You can't pay them off.
You have to stick with them. And if you sack Tuchel and you bring in someone who is not good at all, you're going to be stuck with him for 2 years minimum. Because
that's a great point what you were saying, Rams, as well. Just so Like
go.
a lot of Chelsea fans are like, oh, well now we're getting these new owners. We can have a bit of success keeping one manager, but they've never had success with that. That is not Chelsea. So like, I don't know what they're asking for. They don't do that. That's not in their model. That's not in their remit.
It was never a true dynasty.
Yeah,
you think of dynasties. You think of Fergie's Man United, Paisley's Liverpool, Wenger's Arsenal, like Michel's Ajax, and you got Hitzfeld's Borussia Dortmund.
Klopp in there. Klopp's been there for a minute.
Klopp's Liverpool as well. Like
Kenny Dalglish's Liverpool.
You had these Chelsea have never had that. The closest they had was Mourinho. But that was only 3 years, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's George Graham's Arsenal. It's real. There are Bob Paisley's Man U. It's so real. Like all the clubs that we're talking about have like real legacy moments where a manager has
even
his
Everton
moment.
as well. Everton, Howard Kendall's Everton.
I think Mourinho's the only one who can go in that category for Chelsea because he was the one who did come in and kind of make them from like not quite to that point.
That Milan side as well, Arrigo Sacchi's Milan, who lasted for about 4 or 5 seasons. Chelsea never had a manager that's lasted over 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah,
and
I'll still put Mourinho in there, but that's just one in the entire 20 plus.
That's not what they do. They don't keep managers, so I don't know what they're at. What they kind of like even mentioning that. For me, I'm glad. I mean, I can't. I want them to burn and rest in peace.
People want patience with Frank Lampard. Forget what people think about Frank Lampard. They want patience with him. I know Frank Lampard was doing a diabolical job with them. They want patience with him at all. Like I remember on the terrace, I kept on saying on the terrace, you have to temper your expectations because you're not going to be winning a league. And at that point, I was going to say, let's
swing this back though quickly to give Arsenal a little bit of credit. Yeah, Lampard was still seen as a better manager than Arteta, and they pulled the plug on Lampard. And if Arsenal would have done it at the same time, Arteta would have been gone long ago, but they didn't. So do we have to give Arsenal credit for actually giving a manager a chance where Chelsea wouldn't? Because who knows if Lampard would have turned that round? Everybody can have their feelings about Lampard. That's fair. Like, I don't think he's a great manager personally. But I think a year ago, we would have all had the exact same feeling about Arteta, if I'm being completely honest with you. So was it a situation where maybe that was just this whole thing where Chelsea just think, let's do what we want, the spoiled brat kind of scenario. And maybe Lampard might have turned it around if they'd have given him a chance. The same way Arsenal, Arteta finished 8th and then 8th. There's no world where that should have been allowed at a club the size of Arsenal. Let's be real.
But what I will say, there was a time, I don't know if you remember, where it was a race of Arteta, Lampard, and Oli, who was going to last longer.
Yeah, and I remember.
Arteta outdid all of these, and now he's had the last laugh. And not only has he had the last laugh, he's actually, as going back to Kyle's point at the start, and even myself, he's starting to change opinions. Now, I've just seen someone say that Arteta's done shit. But, I mean, that's a silly comment to make because we've seen he's done a lot with that money and sort of like that transition of team. So, for me, like, I don't know. I feel like he does need to get a little bit of...
By the way...
Yeah.
Lampard is washed as a manager.
I've got something else to say.
But he should have been given more time, though. I do think he should have been given more time.
I don't know about that.
Man.
I think he shouldn't have got that amount of money that he got.
I mean, he shouldn't have got the job if we're going to keep it all the way a buck. But I think you give him longer than they did, though, once you give him the job.
Man, them getting the Matrix deals, boy.
But I just want to quickly say, do you guys know Chelsea's wage budget?
It's massive.
Do you think the Ricketts family, when they go in, they're going to try and temper that down?
100%.
Like how FSG did with us.
Strip them bare, man.
100%.
Do you think players will be happy about it?
And we all shout shame like Games of Thrones, bruv. Strip them bare.
Do you think the players will be happy about that?
I think it will become very realistic that Liverpool could swoop in and take N'Golo Kante and Reece James. That's what I think.
It's like I said, man, there's gonna be a massive change. This will be the new Chelsea. The Chelsea that we know, that we hate. Like Terry said, it's gone. That term is gone. You could put a ribbon around that book. The book is done. Now is a fresh new slate of book. freshly
I want to see them
pinched
go back to
parchment.
being sponsored by Cores and all them things there.
autograss, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I want.
Could their problem also be that they're the only big club that has a very small stadium, which if you're looking at it from a financial point of view is a massive burden as well.
It's a crap stadium as well.
Yeah, and to add on. Sorry, Rob. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Stamford Bridge is like you think Old Trafford is like the state of the stadium at Old Trafford is bad, but Stamford Bridge is just as bad. You think of our stadium, yeah. We're rebuilding it. We're renovating it. Arsenal Stadium got a beautiful stadium. Emirates is a very nice stadium. Stamford Bridge is not a good stadium. Even though it's in West London, it's not a good stadium at all.
And it's the standard now. Man City's got a beautiful stadium. Tottenham's got a beautiful stadium. Like the standard is your stadium now in 2022 has to be a nice stadium.
It's not like a Camp Nou that holds a lot of heritage or a Mestalla that holds heritage. Chelsea don't have that heritage.
Also, Chelsea, the owner won't have say over the pitch because apparently some of their fans own the pitch.
The fans do own the pitch.
They can't even move and decide that they want to do. That was a massive issue for Abramovich because he wanted to go to Battersea, didn't he? He wanted to go to Battersea and then they couldn't move. So
Leicester's got a beautiful stadium.
The thing is, with West London, where Stamford Bridge is at, there's a lot of residential housing around it, like your millions of pounds of housing. You know,
let's be real. You can't build on top of where it is. It's in a very hard area to expand. 100%.
You think of Arsenal. You think the space around Arsenal is big. Like it's a big space.
Arsenal struggled for a long time to find the space, though.
Exactly.
It took Arsenal a long time to find the space to build that stadium.
Yeah, I know. It's if they want to try and rebuild it, they're going to have to do like a skyscraper kind of thing, just build up. You can't build sideways or...
the pitch is going to be like this, yeah? Man, I have to wear magnetic boots in that.
Someone has to get the magnifying glass and just have a look, man.
It's going to be like them blocks in Peckham.
So just to caveat this, late last year, I actually did some work at Stamford Bridge and they have to build down. They can't even build up. So they would have had to build down. And basically drop the level down because they were not allowed to build up because they can't have the stadium higher than there's another point near the stadium that the stadium's not allowed to be higher than legally. No. So they have to build down.
So they've even got to get Master Splinter's permission then because they're going to be fucking with the sewers and that.
You're talking about that's what you're talking about underground stadium. Like
they already have stuff under the city. They have a gym that they already have built down. They've got a gym, they've got a nightclub, they've got a restaurant. They already go under the stadium already. I don't know if you know.
So they'd have to build down to do all that stuff.
Well, here's the problem: if you're building down, that means you're gonna have to do a Tottenham and go to Wembley because you wouldn't be able to play games while it was in expanded like we did because you'd have to rip the whole thing up to go down.
And move the train station that's underneath.
Oh, is the train station directly underneath? You can't do that. You can't do that.
Again, that's another thing as well. It's like
But you can't mess with the tube line.
No, that's what I'm saying. Roman was planning to renovate all that stuff up and all that as well.
Oh, with his long money. Oh, okay. Yeah. You need long money to be able to do things like tell the train line that we're going to direct your train a totally different way around so we can get... Do you know how much work would be involved in that?
Do you know how much disruption that would be? How much disruption that would be?
Bruv. Would London actually let that happen?
No,
because that would be over a year of that tube line being down.
That's what happened.
It was going to happen.
It was going to happen. Station parallel to the stadium, and they had to have special permission granted so that we could work on the stadium or at the Emirates.
You've got your own train station, though.
Yeah, but we have an overground train that goes parallel to the stadium, and that had to be worked on, and it took like months and months, and we had to keep getting special dispensation for it to be closed.
Daft Drifty, that comment is quite funny, you know. I'm not going to bring up, but that is funny because all I heard was such a beautiful voice. It's a picture we're gonna fall.
Oh my god!
But all right, so to just finish up on the Chelsea thing before we move on to doing some quick predictions before we get to the end. Are Chelsea, as we know it, done out here? I'll start with you, Lee.
They're fully done out here.
And there's no saving them. You truly believe they're done out here, yeah?
I feel like they're fully done out here. They're fully done out here.
Ram, what are you thinking?
You mean done out here like they're in the pits and they can't come back up? Like hell.
No, I just mean that they will be looking down rather than up, so to speak.
For them, for Chelsea fans, they'll feel like they're done out here. But I think they'll be fine because of the assets that they have, the players that they have. They'll sort of scurry along around top four. I think it'll be another Arsenal thing.
I was just about to say, so that means they're done out here.
You could say that.
London is about to be red again, yeah. Cal,
come on, Drift, man.
No, bro, we gotta be real. When they secured that second Champions League, London became blue, bro.
Drift.
Come on, man. London was
always
blue.
red, man. London was always red. Bayern Munich red. That's what I mean.
Hey, do you know what Lee's got to realise, yeah? Is that Ram is coming in here with terrorist venom for Arsenal. He's not coming in here with Kopish Arsenal, but he's coming in here with terrorist level. So he's just taking no prisoners on the Arsenal team right now.
Sorry.
You know what? I don't want to sit next to you, man. Move me from there, man.
Oh, so no, Cal, before we move on, do you think they're done out?
Do you know what would be us? You know that 50 Cent one that you showed? That would be us, Liverpool fans, and that would be us laughing at Chelsea right now. That's gonna be us. We'll be like,
no, that's gonna be us because all of these years I've been hearing the rhetoric that London is blue. So I'm gonna be like,
no, but Gunnar Lee. We kept on being called broke FC. Look at them, man. Look at them. Their owner is not as his net worth is not as big as our owner. I think it's around about the same or lower.
So, they're worth 2.3 billion.
So they're lower, basically. That's all I've got to say.
Oh man!
Nah, do you know what will be blessed? You know what? I'm gonna be nice to Gunnar. If you guys finish third, they finish fourth, and we win the quad. I mean, Chelsea fans are gonna be in the mud. Chelsea fans will be in the mud, and they've got their new owner. Oh my God, they're gonna be in the mud.
You know,
they're gonna be in the mud.
That you just said, I don't want Liverpool winning the quad because I ain't gonna hear the end of it.
You're damn
bro,
right.
We're not,
bro.
But you know what? Let's be real. We are the least bossy out of Man U, Chelsea, and Arsenal fans. So we would be the most humble with that achievement.
I'll be honest,
100%.
That's true, but you know what it is? What Liverpool fans get on my nerves about is you compare Mo Salah to Henry, and I just can't do it.
Bro,
He doesn't
have the longevity, yeah, and he doesn't look as good on the eye. I understand that. But we're talking about Premier League. He sits at the same table as Thierry, bro.
Me, that's the reason why I don't want Liverpool to win. Listen, my Mo Salah agenda is strong, and that's the reason why.
Thing we can agree on. I mean, Alisson could talk to any of your goalkeeping goats. That's what I've got to say.
Oh, no. I don't care. I'm not care. The king. I'm talking about the king.
It's Henry, bro. Remember, there's only two things Arsenal have left. Henry and the Invincibles, bro. And if they get taken away...
I want both.
It's good that I'm wearing yellow today, you know, because I'm so glad Watford did a job for me.
What do I want next season, Drift? I want the Invincible quad. That's what I want next season. I want the Invincible quad.
Imagine if we win the quad, we do the Invincibles, and we do the double. I'm sorry, our team is goated. Our team is goated.
I'll tell you what's mad, yeah. I was thinking about this today. Liverpool only lost one game to Man City, and we would have gone unbeaten. And Man City only lost one game, and it was to Liverpool, or they would have been unbeaten. So what we've done is we've both fucked each other in our rivalry from taking away what Arsenal are clinging on to as their last bit of So we're literally to blame for each other's reason of not taking out one thing that Arsenal are holding on to. It's mad. When you actually think about it, it's actually mad. It's actually mad.
Let it run. Let it run.
Nah, but Gooner Lee, even if you get third, I mean, it's not winning a trophy, but like...
I know. No. The third thing I don't really care about because third, fourth...
You'll be happy. You'll be happy.
No, I'll be happy. Of course, yeah, bro. I'll be happy.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We'll all be happy. We'll all be happy. That's what I got to say.
So, Cal, if you could just bring up the fixtures for me, please, brother, for this weekend, while we get through these couple super chats that are saved here.
Did you guys hear the stuff about Gary Neville? What he said?
Yeah, you know, we're going to touch on that tomorrow. I was going to put a disclaimer out. We're going to touch on that tomorrow. We don't have time to quite go into that just yet. So we'll touch on that tomorrow. So just, yeah, thank you, my brother. Matt's hairline here saying, Cal, beard like no man's land. Come on, guys, man. This is
cool, brother. You mugging me.
Guys, this isn't even passive aggressive. This is just like raggo. Cal being aggressive. Cal been shouting aggressively lately. Must be training again. Yep, he is. I told you lot already.
Yo, I'm sorry, man, but Cal's been getting too much smoke with his beard, man. I think Monday I heard bum fluff, bro.
Leave them, Rams, because when I get the news joint, no one's gonna have anything to say, bro.
I know, it's a very big up, brother, as always. Am I the only one worried about Arsenal getting top four? Lee would be unbearable for a season still. The return of AFTV and Martinelli will stay.
Well, not one season. We're doing it. We're coming back. Premier League, Champions League. We're moving.
Wow.
Lee. Okay.
Lee,
let's not go
you've
too
been
far
so
now.
normal. You're almost there, bro.
This is what I mean.
It's in the DNA, isn't it? It's in the DNA.
This is why I come for Lee.
Near the end of the show, man. I'm coming with the gas.
Bro, Gunnar Lee, we're coming in like with peace. Like we say nothing. We're hearing peace. But now you're just throwing
the get my friendly from me and suck a all bloody stream. Go away, man.
The moment Lee came to my house, left a poo in the toilet and bounced and laughed about it and FaceTime and all that with his brethren, that was it for me. On site every time now.
Good Lee, man. I don't want to bring these man up, yeah. From the way you're acting, man.
Yeah, it was nice, man.
Bro, I'll bring back the PTSDs of Bayern Munich, bro. I don't want to do it, man, but from the way you're acting, just
please.
I can bring up 10-2 if you want to, bro. We can bring up 10-2.
I'm not gonna lie. That is definite PTSD.
Off tangent really quick, because in the chat there's a separate conversation. Not gonna call you out. Like we messaged you on here. No one's gonna get banned from the chat for certain reasons. But look, when it comes to certain things, you can disagree, but remain respectful. If you're gonna be hateful and rude about stuff like that, then maybe this is the place for you. And kindly, you can find another channel to watch in it. There's a big difference between disagreeing with something and being very, very very wrong about how you go about your views and how you explain your views. So I'm gonna leave that there. You know who you are. If you want to discuss it with me personally, you got my DM. My DMs are open in it. Just be mindful of what you're saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. There. Come on, man. It's all a banter is completely cool. Disrespect is not tolerated. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that. So, guys, before we finish up, let's look ahead to the weekend. We obviously have done the Liverpool-Watford preview before, but just quickly, Lee and Ram, I'll start with you, Lee. How do you think the Liverpool-Watford game will go, bro? Give me a score prediction.
3-0. 3-0. I think you're going to absolutely roast him.
Fair dues. Ram, how you feeling about that one, bro?
I'm going to go for a 2-0. I think for sure, we're going to get a clean sheet. I know we've got a good run of form in terms of defensively. But I think it's going to be a solid performance, a solid 2-0 win for us, I think.
Fair enough. Okay, moving on. I'm only going to stick with the big teams because obviously we don't have a lot of time. I'll start with you, Cal. Is there any hope in any way on any planet that Shawnee boy, he's just a sexy boy, can actually pull off even a draw, bro?
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I got the looks to make the girls. Well, I got the moves. They all move me. I send chills up and down their spines. I'm just a sexy Sean. Sexy Sean.
Is there
I
any
bring
hope?
all the corn. I'm just a sexy Sean.
Is there any
I'm
hope?
about to the boy them from City. Remember cemetery. They are not leaving with 3 points from Turfmoor. We are getting 1 or 3 points from the citizens. Remember, so me tell you, them can't leave the stadium with everything so them want. Them are gonna get hard food or them are gonna get meat. Them not gonna mix the two. Remember, so me tell you. Draw.
Pause.
Double 6. Domino.
Do you know what? I'm going to manifest that. I kind of see them dropping points again. You know why?
So Cal, talk to me, Cal. Talk to me, Ram. Say that. Talk to me, Cal. Are they going to be able to do something with this game? Give me a score prediction for this game, bro.
1-1.
Okay, Lee, give me a score prediction for that game, bro.
You know what? I did think it was going to be 3-0 Man City, but you know what? I genuinely think it's going to be 2-1 Burnley. I genuinely do.
Oh, shit. Talk to me now. Ram, what are you saying? Give me a score prediction.
Look, man, I think it's going to be 1-1.
I know Lee's trying to gas me as well. Yeah, go on.
Do you know my mindset behind it, yeah? Them centre-backs, Laporta and Stones, they're going to be up against Big Val. If anyone knows about Big Val, he's like 6'8" and weighs about 215 pounds. You know what I mean? This guy is going to bad them up. And he's got a point to prove as well because he wasn't picked for the Netherlands team. He's going to be like, yo, Lou Van Gaal, Wagwan. I'm going to come up here in my crib and I'm going to show you that I need to be in that team, bro. I'm going to need that team in that World Cup.
And to add, going off what you guys were saying, Burnley need to win. They can't even draw anymore. They actually need to win. So it's either going to be a battering or they're going to win. They're not going to draw.
This is actually a good point. Apparently, Stones got injured during the England international break, so that means that they're down to Ake and Laporte at the moment.
Bro, imagine Ake up. He's like 5'10", and Beckhorst is like 6'8".
To be fair, they are still two very good defenders, but it means City are kind of on their bare bones, though, innit? There's no room for rotation. And that kind of thing, if that is the situation.
Forget the midfield, bro.
We had no centre-backs last season. They told us not to make excuses. Bun them, man, bro.
No. I'm saying as in trying to be optimistic about it. I'm saying they've still got two good defenders available. That's what I'm saying.
The only Pep I rate is Linders. I said it about it.
What about Pep Arteta? What about that one?
Huh?
What about Pep Arteta?
Nah, he's like your B team, innit? So leave
Bun Arteta as well, Lee. I know you're on the stream, but Bun Arteta as well, bro.
Anyone associated with Pep, bun them. Actually,
the manifestation is there. I'm loving it. All right, Chelsea, Brentford. I'll start with you, Ram, and work up this time. I mean, can you see any? Brentford are also battling for their lives. They're in a better position than maybe Leeds and Burnley, but they still have to keep on their P's and Q's. You see any slip-ups there? You see a Chelsea win?
Look, I got to ask you guys a question, yeah. Do you guys like a narrative? Do you guys like a story, yeah?
As long as it's not a false narrative, I love a narrative, bro. Go on.
Look, I see this happening, yeah. Christian Eriksen had a brilliant international break, came back and scored for Denmark. Brilliant story.
Yeah, unbelievable story. He's
going to continue that form and score a goal against Chelsea to help Brentford beat Chelsea.
Oh, shit.
1-0, Brentford.
Wow, there's a lot of manifestation. Well, you know the word I'm trying to say. There's a lot of that going on right now. Okay, 1-0. Lee, talk to me.
You know what? I want to jump on Ramsey's wave, but since all of this debacle going on with Chelsea, they've won absolutely every single game. And I think there's going to be this whole situation with this thing going outside the stadium.
The protest before the game. Yeah.
So I think that's actually going to spur them on. And they only got like 6 fans in the stadium. So I think those 6 fans would see like a 3-0 win.
Siege mentality, yeah.
Did you say 6?
Yeah, I mean, because they all come back to Arsenal now. I mean, biggest club in London. I mean, I don't know.
A couple of them might jump on the old black and white still, the Magpies and that. You never know, innit?
Yeah, I mean, they should.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Talk to me, Cal.
Yeah, but Brentford are going to get treated horribly in this game. 4-0 Chelsea.
Okay, I'm more on Cal's wave on this one than you lot. Still, I think Chelsea are gonna pump them. I'm not even gonna lie.
Bro, man.
Man United and Leicester, arguably the biggest game of the weekend on paper. You know what I mean? They've had some brilliant games in the past. Leicester beat them earlier on in the season. I worked my way down this time as well. So Cal, I'll start with you. No, let me start with Lee this time because I haven't started with Lee. Leicester, Man United, bro, at Old Trafford.
I think going off Ramsey's sort of information about the last game with Brentford, Chelsea and Brentford, with the whole Eriksen scoring, I think you've got that funny sort of rat-looking Bruno. He's going to score a couple of goals, and I think it will be 3-1 to Man United, actually. I think they will make light work with no centre-backs. I think all of their centre-backs are out. And your boy, Soyuncu, oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Yesterday's price is not today's.
Yo, listen, that is... And the whole thing about, people saying in the chat, the Maguire thing, they'll support him, he'll play well, and 3-1.
Cool. Ram, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. Brett, that I've said this before about Brendan Rodgers, that 3-season syndrome, he always has it. Had it at Leicester, even though they still won the league, it's still there. It was still rough sailing for them. At Liverpool, we don't want to talk about the third season, especially that last game of the season. And yeah, so I think it's going to be another loss for Brendan Rodgers. And personally, I don't rate Brendan Rodgers as a good man manager. Like, people have been saying he's a good man manager. I don't personally say it. No. Like, I think when you guys were talking about him on Monday, I thought you were being very nice to him. He had a lot of falling outs with people. Like, he had a lot of falling outs with the likes of Aga, which was unnecessary because he deserves to stay still good enough. Stevie, Pepe Reina, a lot of the older statesmen did not like him at all. Yeah, he did. He's done a lot for us in the club as well.
Not to defend him, but are we not really being disingenuous to overlook the amount of injuries a squad as small as Leicester have had to deal with this season? It's been ridiculous, the amount of injuries they've had to deal with.
But they've been chopping and changing formation drift, man.
Because he's trying to find alternatives to the lack of players he had. We even watched Klopp look like he was going through a mini crisis with the amount of injuries we dealt with.
There was times he played Soyuncu and I think Evans on the bench and played Amati and Ndidi as centre-backs.
Yeah, but that was because Evans wasn't fully fit, bro. There's got to be context added to it. Like, Evans hasn't really been fit for the majority of the season.
Soyuncu was fit, man.
No, but Soyuncu was the only fully fit defender, and he's chosen the season of this problems to have his worst ever season.
No, but I'm saying, bro, you can't moan about depth at centre-back when you have a fit centre-back and you don't play them there. It's why we got into Klopp last season. We had Nat Phillips and he wouldn't play him.
All right, fair enough. But I still think that's a very harsh way to look at the entire injury situation just as a whole.
But also there was a period where Vestergaard was still fit. I know he's been shocking for them, but play your centre-backs where they play them, man, and play your midfielders. When we saw it like with Man City in 2019-20. We saw it with us in the 2020-2021. Why do the same mistakes everyone else has made, you know? It's like...
Yeah, I hear that. So just quickly on the Man United team then, Cal, what do you think the score will be, bro?
I'm going to go 3-1 United.
I agree. I think Man United are going to pump them 3-1 as well. I agree with that one. West Ham and Everton. Oh, can we say Everton are going to dish out another beat in it?
Lampard, 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 Lampard.
Cal, it's
The
super
Cal.
frank, innit? Super frank, innit?
Cal,
Yeah.
give me a scoreline. Give me a scoreline. West Ham, Everton. Can West Ham do us a favour here?
Yes. Long and short of it, yes. I'm going 3-0 West Ham.
3-0 West Ham. Talk to me, Lee. Talk to me.
I don't know if you guys know, but Everton have a good record against West Ham, and I think this spurned from that whole Lukaku era as well, when he just kept scoring game after game against them. I got a feeling Everton going to win. West Ham aren't good at home as well. If you're not too sure, so I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1 Everton. Oh shit!
Big up Raphael.
Rob, what are you saying, bro?
You know what? I wouldn't say 3-0 like Cal said, because a certain English Iron Robin is not fit. Big up Jared Bowen having a brilliant season for them.
You just really peed off Drift there, Rams. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Nah, do you know why? Drift, do you know why I call it? It's because of the hairline, bro. The hair, they have a similar hairline. They got that receding hairline. That's why I call them English Iron Robin.
They don't have a similar nothing.
Lock your doors, Rams, bro.
Man compared Bowen to the GOAT, you know. Jeez.
Wait. We move.
We definitely move.
All I gotta say, I think it's gonna be another Everton loss. I want these men relegated after last season's antics at Anfield. So I'm gonna go for a 2-0 West Ham win.
Okay, and Dan, by the way, when it comes to right wingers, Robin is the GOAT. That's a fact. There's not even any arguing that.
Well,
Lionel.
Lionel's a number 10 / support striker, man.
Lionel.
So agendas are strong.
What about Clarence?
No. Robin's a better left winger than Clarence. Anyway, another discussion for another day. Tottenham, Newcastle. Could this be a tricky one? I'll start with you, Lee, again on this one. Could this be a tricky one? Take your bias out of it, because I know when you hear Tottenham, you go, could this be a tricky one?
I'm going to go real modest. I'm going to say 6-0 Newcastle. Next. 6-0.
Are you being serious? So you actually,
you know, I might put a pound on that just out of manifestation.
Callum Wilson's back as well, so he might get one. But 6-0.
All right, Cal, what are you thinking? Tottenham, Newcastle.
I'm gonna go for a 2-2.
Okay. So you think Newcastle can come and cause an issue?
Tottenham is so inconsistent, man. And Newcastle have turned it around. Like, I got a shout out to Eddie Howe. Turned it around. We had Kendall on last week. He's turned it around. Have to rate what he's doing. Have to.
No, you do. Ram, finishing up. You think Newcastle could pull them off, or what are you thinking of that one?
My main worry for Tottenham is whether their players will be when they come back. Will they be fit? Harry Kane's played 2 international games. Kulusevski's played 2 international games. A lot of their main players have played a lot of games, but I still think they might get through this. I think it's going to be very, very, very tight. I think it's going to be a 2-1 Tottenham win. I know you're shaking your head, Gunali, but I just have a feeling, man. Newcastle don't do well against the big teams.
I thought we were going to be friends, man.
I'm a little worried about Newcastle in terms of complacency. Like, I don't think they're a walkover or pushover by any means, but I think now they realise they're pretty much out of the relegation battle they realised they were in. 1 or 2 of their last performances have seemed a little less urgent and a little less kind of, I feel like they can kind of take it easy and enjoy the football now. And that might be a little bad for them in terms of, I think the worry of relegation was helping them to play better. So we'll have to see on the Newcastle one there. And then moving on lastly to Monday, which is obviously the old Arsenal away at Selhurst Park. Talk to me, Lee. I'll let you go first. Talk to me.
You know what? I feel the more I think about the game, I genuinely do believe we actually might give them a bit of a hiding to. And I feel we played them at the beginning of the season. We obviously scored a last-minute goal, Lacazette, when he was going in like he's done some crazy goal in the Champions League final, like Divock, but we moved. And I feel like for us, we're playing well. We've got like really good momentum. We've got a lot of good players that are on form at the right time all together. We may get Tomiyasu back as well, actually, which is actually a really good plus. Even though Cedric's been really well, been playing really well for us, but we may actually get Cedric back. So that's actually, so we might get Tomiyasu back, which is quite a plus. Ramsdale's 50-50
Good
as
job,
well.
Jota playing still.
Yeah, and Zaha's
so I had to get you back for that horrendous Lacazette comparison with Origi, but yeah, go on, man, keep going.
Listen, I'm just I'm out here and I'm saying that I feel like it's going to be 2-0. Actually, I think it might beat them 2-0.
Okay. Fair enough. I have noticed that your energy has been very defensive since Ram coming. I'm seeing the correlation between your mood and your energy and
Listen,
Ram entering the
man,
field.
I'm telling you, man, I don't want to sit next to you again, man. You know when you say heat rises, like your negative energy just rises.
You know what? You know what? You know, it's like it's the new kid that comes to school and the teacher tells you to sit next to him. And then you're just like, no, I'm not sitting next to you ever again. You're just too much. You're too much, man. I respect it, man. I respect it.
I hear that. Oh, so on that one, Ram, give me a score prediction for that one, bro.
4-0 Palace.
Why are we doing
I'm
this?
joking. I joke. You know what? I think it's gonna be a very good game for Arsenal. They're coming off a very good victory against Aston Villa. I think it's a perfect performance. Negate Aston Villa fully throughout the whole game. No Coutinho to be found. No Ashley Young. I saw Callum's face when he saw that. No Matty Cash. No Matty Cash. No Ashley Young. No creativity at all. So I think it's going to be a 3-1 win to Arsenal. Do you know what? And also, apparently Zaha and Elise are injured as well.
Yeah.
It's gonna. You're talking about two of their most important players.
It's written in the stars. Although I am gonna go and put a little cheeky bet, a little double bet on Crystal Palace to beat Arsenal 4-0 and Tottenham to lose 6-0 to Tottenham. I'm gonna put a little cheeky bet on that because if that comes through, don't
put it on Palace. Don't put. That's never gonna happen.
Nah.
Look, if you lot are on this manifesting thing. These things that are being said randomly.
That's reserved for Man City, man. Not for these games. The big fish to fry.
Yeah, I'm talking like 50p. The odds on that happening will be so great. I'll still probably win like $2,000 for that 50p. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Cal, what are you saying about the Arsenal Palace game, bro?
I'm going 3-0 Arsenal. Hurts me to say it, but
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. I think it'll be way easier than people think it will be. I think they'll get an early goal. The game will be a bit back and forward. Then in the last 15 minutes, they'll get the second goal and kill the game off. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal as well. Well, there we have it, people. Obviously, we'll be back afterwards to see what actually happened and how those scores became real or not. Cal, we got any super chats before we finish up, bro?
Indeed. I read that one out. That one as well. T1 says, so we would be in the mud if we finished fourth while being in the final stages of all competitions just because Arsenal finished third. Make it make sense. I'm guessing T1's a Chelsea fan.
Hi.
Oh, you're talking to me. Oh, yeah, it does make sense because you're apparently meant to be challenging for the league title and you finished behind Arsenal, who had no chance of winning the top four. That's why it will be in the mud.
By the way, there's also like a really weird scenario that probably won't even happen. But if West Ham won the Europa League, there's a possibility fourth doesn't get Champions League.
No, it's 5 teams. It's 5 teams.
Yeah, but there's something to do. I'm trying to remember what the other scenario is.
But that's if either City or us, we aren't in the top 4. That's why they don't get in. So how it works is you have a pot system. So the pot system, you have your champions, and you have the winners of the Champions League and winners of the Europa League, and the last team will be in whatever pot, like pot 2, pot 3, or pot 4, whatever. So that's how.
Oh yeah. So that was based on if Chelsea was to win the Champions League or fall out of the top 4, isn't it? Or something.
Yeah, so like
to that effect,
Champions League winners and Europa League winners count as neutrals. Because they're
okay,
winners.
well, yeah, fourth spot will be fine then.
Yeah.
Matt's hairline says, Cal, you can't lie. The follicles are dormant.
Bro.
Matt's hairline, I'm going to come for you now. Next couple of shows I'm on, I'm going to come for you still. It's war.
Watch how this guy in real life doesn't have any hair himself.
No, I was just thinking that he's so jealous of this minimal hair that Cal has that he just keeps going on about it.
Keep my beard grow out your fucking mouth. Keep my beard grow out your fucking mouth. Yeah. Zabiri says Lee heard top 4 and lost it. Bun you, pagan Lee.
I'm on the come up, man. I'm on the come up.
If Arsenal don't get top 4, what we saying? Flop or no flop? Lee?
No
flop
flop
or not?
No flop.
You know what? In the grand scheme of things, not a flop, but I'll call you a bottle job.
Yeah, fine.
From the position they're in at the moment, as we said, the season does change throughout. It's a flop. From the beginning of the season, not a flop at all. I think to get to this position and drop I would consider that a flop.
Way overachieved at the start of the season, for sure. See, I'm not that bad.
Yeah. At the beginning of the season, this would have been seen as a massive overachievement.
I
But you're
would
here
say
now.
everyone predicted us to finish 8th. So overall, we've overachieved, so we can't be a flop.
You've overachieved the most in terms of if you look at the start of the season, out of every team in the league, you've overachieved more than everyone else.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I mean, some people have put Liverpool at 5th, which was stupid. So I would bear that in mind. But overall grand scheme of things,
I didn't say that.
No. Certain people put Liverpool 5th. They know who they are.
Yeah, they know who they are. They know.
So I'm like, they're gonna have I'm gonna have a lot of words with them. I'm gonna have a lot, especially if we win the quad. I'll have a lot of words with them.
When?
Straight after if we win the Champions League final, I'm doing phone calls on the terrace. I'm doing phone calls.
You got to change up the vocabularies. I'm only dealing with whens now. I ain't dealing with ifs and buts. It's when.
Oh, when? Yeah, when we win the quad.
When?
Boy, Drifty, do what you're doing, because I don't want you to get clipped up, because I know
these are the thoughts of Callum and Ram.
Clip me.
Hey, man. Hey. I'm all for hope.
Coming for you.
All this is all for hope. Hope. Without hope, you are nothing. Without hope, you are nothing.
No, but it's the hope that kills you, Ram. So
hope is what makes us strong, innit?
If I see Cal smacking someone for Disney's beard outside Morley's, I'd hold it, but I'd never do that. I'd never do that. I'd be eating the Morleys, the food from Morley's to smell me too much.
I know what Drift's gonna do. I know. I'm gonna play that video.
I told you lot already. You lot don't believe me.
I don't knew that was coming, bro.
I told you lot already. You lot don't believe me.
Just
this
to let
is
you
such
know.
a false narrative. I'm probably one of the most approachable people you're going
just to let everyone know, so it's playing out there. This channel does not condone the use of animal violence.
No, look, bro. Look, animal violence is just nature, bro. That ain't nobody's. That it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, people, it's been beautiful. It's been fun. It's been a roller coaster. Big up Ram for jumping in last minute and rushing home as well. Lee, all jokes aside, it's been brilliant. I know you've been wanting to rep the Arsenal thing for a minute, so I had to bring you in and let you do that, bro. You done it well. You done it well. I mean, you lost composure a bit when Ram jumped in, but that was to be expected.
I know, man. The negative energy, man.
Yeah, it's in the DNA. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. It's in the DNA. Same way I went bald, it was in the DNA. There was nothing I could do about it, bro.
From Gouda Lee, you're lucky that I didn't bust up no Neo rhymes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I started the whole Neo train on this channel for you lot. So
started from the bottom, now we here, man.
No radio stuff tonight, man. No radio stuff tonight.
But big up to everyone as always, man.
Love, man.
Big
Always
up
love,
as
love.
always. You know what I mean? Catch us tomorrow for the call-in show as always. We're back same time. And next week, hopefully, we'll have the original panelists back as well. Get well, as I said to everyone. Hopefully, that'll all be better. And yeah, just quickly as well, Lee, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you, bro?
You know what? Right now, I even got no YouTube. I'm gonna sort of get that up and running. But when I do, you guys will be the first to know, man. It was a pleasure being on.
Share that around, bro.
I know.
100%, man. 100%. And where can they find you on Twitter, bro?
Yeah. So I'm on Twitter. Lee versus Lee. Yeah, on Twitter. And yeah, man, just come for a chat, some jokes, and yeah, Mo Salah slander, man, every week.
Oh yeah. Be ready for the Mo Salah slander, because certain time man's acting like we ain't friends or something. I'm just like, look, Lee. I mean, even your Arteta takes, bro. Someone's got to tell that Fassi to get back in his technical area. I'm sorry. I don't know. He thinks he's above the law, bro. I know we went back up. He thinks he's above the law. In fact, the man even turned into he got an assist for a goal. That's illegal, Lee.
I say it, and I said it before. When you're from London, you got a different kind of vibe. You got different settings, different rules.
Guna Lee. All we know of Arteta, he's just Xabi Alonso's side man, isn't it? Up in Merseyside, he's known as Xabi Alonso's side man. That's all I've got to say.
I know that the air up there is different. Up north is different, man. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about the up north guys there. I don't know about that.
But Ram, let them know where they can find you, bro.
Yeah, man. You can follow my Twitter at LRBRams, and you can also see me on the terrace. You know, spreading some love, giving people some smoke if need be. But the quad is on. The quad is on for now. That's all I'm gonna say. Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy it while you can, because we're never gonna ever say this ever again.
I can't take the gas, man.
Cal, let them know what Morley's they can find you smoking, brother.
I can't even do Morley's at the moment. I'm not eating meat during Lent, bro.
And it's no chips, bro.
The chicken smells too tame. It's too harsh, man. It's too harsh. But now you guys know you can find me here. You can find me at Callum Sanderson on Twitter, Instagram. DMs are open. I'm not responding as often as I'd like to because life's a bit crazy. And yeah, and the Sanderson Show for any MMA stuff as well. So, and obviously here as well.
How about if you get the bag of chips, if you buy the barbecue wing, the ribs, put them in and just shake the bag so all the sauce goes over the chips. Take the wing, the ribs out, and then eat the chips, but with the taste. But you're not eating the meat, but the taste is on there.
That's just, bro, you just. I could think of so many analogies here, but I can't, innit?
I'm just trying to make you hungry. My bad. I don't know why I'm even being evil. I don't even know why. But people
play with clothes on, bro.
What are you talking about? When man was 15 years old, them thing there was the lit, bro.
I'm big 32 now, bro. My kids they didn't come down from a stalk, you know what I mean?
I remember them teenager days. But on that note, people, big up as always. Make sure you smash the like button. You know what I mean? Big up to everyone again, and catch us tomorrow, same time for the Friday call-in show. You know what I mean? We will see you there. Peace.
Peace, man. Love.